Different countries have different censorship laws, and you'd be surprised how some countries ban some things while others don't. Today we're going to talk about what gets banned in Korea. Now what we're going to talk about isn't necessarily the songs that wind up getting banned because different networks ban on different bases. We're talking about the overall what is not allowed in Korea in general in terms of censorship.
So when you think of like a K-pop video that was considered to be too sexy and was banned, we're not talking about that. That's like a totally different censorship board.
Today we are specifically talking about the Korea Communication Standards Commission, also known as the KOCSC, but that's such a long name, so I'm just going to pronounce it. It's the cocksuck.
You know, something about that just doesn't sound right to
You know
me.
what? And the people that work for cocksuck are known as cocksuckers.
No, that can't be right.
So
And
here are
that
what
feels like it should be banned.
Here are what all of the cocksuckers banned in Korea.
So here's a broad and fast list of things that are banned. You cannot light and smoke a cigarette, but you can hold a cigarette as long as it is not lit.
Guns and knives are banned, but not all knives, only knives when they are used in aggressive ways, but if you're like on a cooking show, then a knife is okay.
Tattoos are totally banned or just blurred out. So if you guys have ever seen Jay Park on Korean TV, like he was recently in Unpretty Rap Star too, all of his tattoos got blurred. I've been blurred before.
Exactly.
We had someone come into our studio to interview us about like YouTube, and then later on we watched it on Korean TV, and they blurred out my whole arm.
Hey, next time don't come to my studio and censor me.
What the heck?
Come
it's
on.
Just fudgy and memers and a cupcake. It's because it used to be considered to be gangstar.
Right.
But I mean, come on.
Come
It's not all
on. Hey,
gangstar
come
anymore.
on. A puppy and a kitty, and that's banned?
I'm part of the Puppy Kitty crew. We're bad.
You're lame is what you are.
I barf in your shoes.
Nudity is also banned in Korea, and interestingly, not only nudity, but boxer shorts are also blurred in Korea.
So some of you might have read the controversy. I think it was on Show Me the Money, which is like the opposite of Unpretty Rap Star, the rap show. They had to apologize because at some point boxers were not blurred out.
You're not allowed to show underwear, so what you need to learn from this is that if you're in Korea, you need to go commando, because otherwise, if you show your underwear, then you could be blurred and censored. Don't wear underwear in Korea. Fact. But cocksuckers demand it.
Okay, but here's what's... Oh no. It's a show about being rap and gangster.
Yeah.
They have to apologize for saying lyrics that are offensive. They get their boxers blurred out.
Yeah.
You can't have tattoos. You can't show guns.
Korean rap is so much hilarious and so many. I'm not gonna get into all that right now. But,
I'm really nice.
Oh, please.
I like
it just
mice.
burns me
I'm
inside.
wearing a sweatshirt. You can't see my boxers. I don't have tattoos because they're not good.
Now, not all nudity is banned on television, even though a lot of it is. If it's considered an artwork, then that is acceptable.
Yeah, I'm thinking like Michelangelo's whatever.
Yeah, like a painting or whatnot.
You're not gonna like blur that out. Like, what's the point?
K-pop videos do not count for artwork.
Wait, don't get mad at us.
Oh, hey, I didn't make up these rules.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. And perhaps one of my favorite and most interesting things that are blurred or censored on Korean television, brand logos.
Okay, you guys have for sure seen a show.
Without a doubt.
Somebody picks up their phone and there's like tape across the back, or like,
or they open up their laptop and the logo is taped over,
or it's blurry.
Or sometimes even their shirts, you might see the mosaic covering the logo of their shirts.
Except it's like obviously Adidas.
Yes.
But it's just like blurred out and you can still read it.
The only time it is not blurred is if the show has paid for a product placement. So in any TV show in Korea, if you do wind up seeing the logo, that company has paid for the right to show their logo in the TV show.
And I find this really interesting because I think it's actually more distracting and I am drawn more to something.
Exactly.
Like if I see an obvious iPhone and there's like a piece of tape over it, you're immediately like, what's that tape? And then you're like, oh, it's an iPhone.
In Korea, indirect advertising is considered illegal, or showing brand logos is illegal because the focus of the show is not to promote another brand or to try to persuade the viewers to buy a specific product.
But when a program is sponsored by a specific product or company, it's okay to show the logo and not to blur things out. Essentially, the cocksuck believes that if you're paying for a product placement, you're doing it in the most natural way possible, which I disagree with because I've seen a lot of Korean dramas where it's very awkward. Simon, what are you doing?
Oh, me? I'm just using the HelloTalk app.
Whoa, it's so crystal clear. It's not blurred up or taped over or anything.
I felt like this was a perfect time for me to brush up on my Korean via the HelloTalk app. I can chat with people who are native speakers, and I can have grammar corrections while we're chatting, and I can have the translate functions help me if I'm having any issues. Thank you, HelloTalk, for being so natural and so awesome.
Yes, that was totally natural, don't you think?
I do. Interestingly, the most commonly used product placements are usually done by cell phone, clothing, and TV companies. So some of you might be wondering why some things are banned and some things aren't. Well, essentially, things that are aired during certain times where they consider they have younger audiences, like K-pop videos or TV shows like Running Man, will be under high scrutiny.
So an example of this, on the 243rd episode of Running Man, Ji Suk-jin was caught smoking a cigarette, even though it was really, really tiny at the top of the screen.
It was actually an e-cigarette too.
An e-cigarette, yes. And SBS got in trouble for this, so they had to issue an apology for not editing out the smoking scene.
If you guys don't watch Running Man, you really should. Not sponsored, just Running Man's fun.
We should probably bleep out every time you say Running Man.
We blur out
Your mouth.
Also, if somebody says a brand name, which includes like restaurants or like clothing stores, and the place hasn't been paid for a product placement, it will be bleeped out.
When it comes to things being banned in K-pop videos, that's actually a different organization. That's the Ministry of Gender Equality and Families. We're going to talk about some examples of what they've banned in our blog post, so make sure you click on the link here if you want to see other things that have been banned.
The MOGIF. The MOGAF.
Not as good as cocksuckers.
No, not as good. Now, I am really curious about the differences here because let me just tell you, going to Europe for the first time, I saw a lot of boobies on TV. There isn't a lot of banning of that kind of stuff. So what are things that do get banned in your country? Let us know in the comment section below. I have a funny story about going to Italy with my family and all of us like turning on the TV screen at the hotel and seeing a girl ride down the beach with like no shirt on and then rubbing sunblock on, and my mom and sister and dad and I are all like, where's the remote?
No, you can't do it! You know what I always wanted to know? In North America,
yes,
female nipples cannot be shown, but you could have really skimp bikinis
yes
on. But male nipples can be shown.
You can show male nipples.
What happens if you had a bikini, but the bikini had a picture of a male nipple?
Oh. Or what if you take a picture of a male nipple and you stick it over on top of it? Like it just covers it.
Right. Male nipples are allowed, female nipples aren't. Nipples. I can't say
Nippers.
nippers.